Dear attendees, I am pleased to welcome you. I am Oleksandr Veits, head of the Economics and Taxation sector at the Research University of Medical and Pharmaceutical Law in Kyiv. Today, my presentation will be devoted to current issues and changes related to the CRS 2.0 system. These issues are very important. Among migrants and people with dual residency, thus, starting from January 1st, 2026, two important international standards will come into effect, which will significantly change the approach to financial transparency. The updated CRS 2.0 and the new CARP standard, which concerns crypto assets. These changes are aimed at strengthening global control over the incomes and assets of taxpayers and affect not only banks and financial institutions, but also crypto exchanges and ordinary users. Let me remind everyone that the system of automatic exchange of tax information between countries was developed by the OECD in 2014. At that time, in most countries of the world, the essence of the CRS is that banks and other financial institutions annually provide the tax authorities of the countries of residence with data about their accounts, assets, and income. I would like to note that before this period, banks were only required to report the client's primary tax residency, and starting from January 1st, 2026, the CRS 2.0 rule comes into effect, under which banks must identify all of a client's tax residencies. This is especially important for individuals with dual or multiple residencies. For example, those who have a residence permit in one country but actually live or conduct business in another. In addition, CRS 2.0 will expand the list of objects subject to monitoring. It will now include electronic money, prepaid cards, digital currencies, and certain digital financial products. Customer due diligence requirements will also be strengthened, and the information exchange structure will be updated. The new XML scheme will be introduced. For the transfer of data between the tax authorities of participating countries, in parallel with CRS 2.0, the CARF standard is being implemented. Ironically, I call it the CRS for crypto enthusiasts. Cryptocurrency and other digital assets, such as cryptocurrencies, will participate in the digital exchange of information. So according to CARF, the obligation to transmit information is placed on crypto exchanges, providers, wallet services, NFT marketplaces, and even decentralized platforms if there is a controlling party. In other words, crypto exchanges will collect data about their clients and transmit it to the tax authorities of the countries of residence. This will apply to the purchase, sale, exchange, withdrawal, and transfer of crypto assets. All of this awaits us in 2026. So clients of banks and crypto exchanges should prepare for complete transparency. This concerns the procedure for opening accounts. It will be necessary to indicate all residencies that the client is governed by. If in 2024 to 2025 only one residency was indicated, now the multiplicity of such residencies will be checked. That is, CRS 2.0 and CARF are steps toward complete international financial transparency. In fact, control. This means that the tax authorities of the countries with which the client has a tax status will have information about the accounts and the balances on those accounts. Everyone should take this into account when forming their financial strategy. How does this affect colleagues, medical professionals abroad? I can say that many people have moved to other residencies, working remotely in Poland, Germany, the Czech Republic, the United Kingdom, and other countries. And often such specialists receive income in one country, live in another, and their formal tax obligations are formed in a third. For example, having individual entrepreneur status, FOP, while officially keeping a Ukrainian tax address. That's why in 2026, banks and financial institutions will be required to report all residencies. If your activity is cross-border, such as online consultations, working in two countries, or business trips, information about your income and accounts will be automatically sent to the tax authorities of the respective country. This means you need to properly declare your income, avoid double taxation, check for conventions between countries, and keep your documents regarding sources of income in order. If you are a freelance medical professional engaged in telemedicine or have a private online practice, your activity is considered cross-border. You need to take this into account, and also if you accept payments in cryptocurrency, this will also become transparent in 2026. Therefore, you need to prepare for this and carefully and thoroughly build your tax dossier. This also applies to medical professionals, civil servants, because there is an obligation to declare income, must pay close attention to collect information about open accounts, because from my experience, I know that many medical professionals stayed abroad since 2022, then returned, and perhaps forgot something. Declaring foreign accounts is also something that needs to be taken into account. That's why I strongly advise you to carefully gather all necessary documents, thoroughly analyze them, monitor your balances, and declare everything, because starting from 2026 and onwards, all of these processes will become public knowledge, and you need to be well prepared for them. If you have any individual concerns or specific questions, you are always welcome to contact me directly for a personal consultation. Thank you very much for your attention and your time, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.